Hello and welcome, friends. I hope everybody is having a great day so far. If you are new here, welcome, and I greatly appreciate all of your support. If you'll consider hitting that subscribe button and sticking around, and if you're back, welcome back. Yeah, I said that completely backwards today. Well, you guys know what I mean. Either way, I appreciate all of the support, and if you're new, definitely consider subscribing, and if you're back, I always appreciate the support. This is my channel, Dragon's Jewel Creative Gems, and I'm Tegan, and I'm doing my 2-week WIP and chat, and I'm going to get started here on my Barn Life 23 for the event with Diamond Grandma that I had unboxed this canvas for. And I've got it all prepared. I've got my first section opened up here. My goodness, words. I see exactly how today is going to go. I am working on this upside down just because it is a 40 by 50 instead of stretching all the way up to the top of my desk, I figured I'm just going to spin it around and make it easier on myself. And I'm using my little piggy, which I thought originally it was like a little bear or something, but it's a little piggy cover minder that I got from Arietta in her crafty box there from the February event that I had won my prizes with. It is absolutely such an adorable little cover minder, and I just love green, and it's a pig, so I figured it would go perfect with the Barn Life. See, words. I'm going to be struggling with them today, obviously, so I apologize. That's apparently just how I roll these days. So yeah, let's get started here. This canvas, as you know, I've unboxed all that. I'm using my usual supplies here. There's nothing really new. I tend to kind of stick to similar stuff. I would love to get some more DP Gal Creation trays. I'm just waiting for some. She seems to be doing some darker colors right now, and I would like to get some lighter colored trays. So I'm just kind of waiting for maybe, hopefully, that to drop at some point, because I definitely could use a couple more trays. I feel like I'm always using the same ones. Kind of the same thing with my pens. I could definitely use a couple more pens and switch it up. Yeah. Alright, so this is a WIP and chat, and for those of you that are newer and maybe don't know what that means, that just means you pull out a work in progress. You can treat it like a podcast. You can sit here and watch me diamond paint. Whatever your preference is. I'm just getting my drills all flipped over and whatnot here. In case you're wondering why I haven't started yet. So you can treat it like a podcast, you can get some cleaning done, you can get some laundry folded, whatever you need to do. And I chat and catch everybody up on what I've been up to, which I apologize in advance. Just because things have been kind of crazy. My last 2 weeks have sort of blended in together, so I don't have, like, I did this on this day, so to speak, as I normally, a little bit more organized in that sense, but it's just been, it's been a lot these last 2 weeks, and a lot has been going on, and so it's just naturally all kind of blended together as one big thing. I know what I did, I know what happened, all of that, so yeah, no worries there. I'm not completely going mad yet. But yeah, so they all kind of blend in, so I'll just kind of go about, catch everybody up on what's been going on. As most of you know, I had a family member who's terminally ill pass away, so we had a lot of family in town. We had his celebration of life and all of that, so things have definitely been very busy, busier than what even I'm used to. And yeah, so there's definitely lots to catch everybody up on in that sense. So I'll just get into it. I think last WIP and chat I had mentioned that we were going to do like a ladies' lunch with the family members over at my aunt's, and so we did that, and we had some salad and lasagna and garlic bread and little tortilla bites that were like appy kind of size pieces. We had my cousin's wives, both of them had brought a little dessert, and the one had gone to our M&M's meat shop and picked up some little mini apple crumble cheesecakes that were absolutely to die for if you like cheesecake. I know my hubby doesn't, so he really could have cared less. He would have liked the apple crumble part, but not the cheesecake part, of course. But I love my cheesecake, so they were absolutely delicious, and they were just definitely a treat. And then my other cousin's wife, she stopped in at our local Italian center and got a bunch of their little kind of cakes that they do, and so she picked up a multiple flavors, and then we kind of just chose which ones we wanted to try. Both were absolutely delicious. We spent a good part of the evening visiting and chatting, and my aunt had a bunch of china that was my grandma's, whether it had been passed on through her grandma, kind of down through the family, or she had gotten herself, and so she had a bunch of that out. Just some plates and teacups and things like that, and my aunt has so many of them already that she kind of put them out and let everybody kind of choose a piece or two that they wanted to take home with them. My grandma passed away a couple of years ago now, and it's not that I don't have things from her. I do. I have things definitely to remind me of her, but it was still a nice little thing. I ended up selecting, it's a plate that I remember my grandma having that has a Siamese cat on it, and it's looking into a fishbowl. And so I selected that one because I remember that plate fondly, and it makes me think of her. And she did actually own a Siamese cat, Cleo, for the longest time, who was her little sidekick, I would say. And I love cats as well, and so it was the perfect selection for me, so that's what I ended up choosing. So that was a lovely little kind of break away from the kid, and the hubby watched him at home that night after he got home from work. It was during the week. So that was kind of, like I said, a nice little break. It was good to see everybody. My sister and niece had come in town by then, and so they had joined us as well. And it was just really good, like I said, to see all the ladies in the family. And like I said, we actually got around to chit-chatting, and then before we knew it, we lost track of time. And I think it's either my sister or niece asked my mom what time they had to be home for my stepdad to go to a meeting. And they kind of went, oh crap, and they looked at the time, and sure enough, they were supposed to have left like 10-15 minutes earlier than that. So we all kind of, in a mad dash, decided, oh crap, it's later than we thought. And then I was thinking, oh, my son's about to go down for his bedtime, so I should probably get going too. And so we kind of ended fairly abruptly, but I mean, it was good still just to kind of visit and chat. And so we all did like a quick rush clean up piling all the food and dishes back into the kitchen to kind of make it a little bit easier. Clean up for my aunt. As much as we could with all of us rushing out like that. And then we ended up with my sister, her niece. My niece came in town with her 2 boys who are close enough in age to my son that, you know, they can kind of run around and play. And when they were little, they used to do, my niece had lived here for a bit with the boys, and they had gotten to know each other quite well, and they used to play at my mom's all the time. So when we went over the one night, I think it was just after they arrived, because we were all planning on going swimming, the boys were so happy to see each other. My niece's boys, I guess, ran up and hugged my little guy, and my little guy was so happy to see him that when we all piled into 2 different vehicles to go to the swimming pool, he was very concerned that my niece's boys were getting in a different vehicle than him, because he thought that meant they weren't coming with us, which was super cute. But so we all piled in. It was my niece, my sister, all 3 of the boys, my parents, and my 2 aunts, and we all went swimming that day, just at one of our community pools. We chose one that had a water slide, and it had 3 pools sectioned off, where one was like just pretty much lane swimming, a little bit colder, and then they had a nice warm, kind of really shallow kids pool for the really little ones, or the ones kind of learning how to swim a little bit more, maybe weren't comfortable in deeper water. Had a little slide, of course, with that one. So we started off, because my son has had swimming lessons, but he's still not like a full-on swimmer, so he's pretty much has to be with an adult at all times, kind of in a life jacket or being held by an adult if he goes into deeper water, that kind of thing. So we started off in the little small warm kiddie pool, which at first he didn't even want to get into the water because he was unsure. So for him, it's a process. I ended up leading him to the park because it was like a walk down ramp where you pretty much go in and it's barely at your ankles kind of thing. And then I kind of walked backwards, and I was doing the come here, right, kind of thing, and come join mom and making it look all fun. And eventually he started following me into the water, and then once we got him in, he was good. And then we kind of got him playing with a toy and kind of just getting used to everybody and everything happening around him. And then once he kind of warmed up to being there, and the whole kind of all the people, in fact he was in the water, little things like that, then we got him over into the pool where most of the family was. It was me and my mom who kind of started off in the little pool with him, and then we kind of joined everybody else in the next biggest pool, which kind of has the same thing. It's got like a little ramp that goes down, and then it's shallow and gradually goes deeper. And then off to the side of that, they had what they call a lazy river, and that's just like a little loop, almost track-like thing that they have set off to the side, and it's got a current that goes through it. And so you can take a little floaty board or tube or whatever, or you can go in yourself if you're a strong enough swimmer, and it's got a little bit of a current that kind of pushes you around in one direction, and you can just kind of float and go around. And so we figured my son would like that, and so after we had been into that other main pool and he got used to everything going on in there, we decided that we were going to move over into the lazy river. And so my mom and one of my aunts took him in a floaty board, and then I grabbed, me and my sister grabbed a pool noodle and decided to use it like a little hammock chair. And then I was floating in front of my mom and aunt and my son, and I guess I was in a little bit of a goofy mood. Every time I would disappear around a corner, I would, if you got too close to like one of the walls where the jets kind of were, it would kind of whip you around the corner a little quickly. Kind of like just overtake you and kind of swing you around the corner. I did that a few times. Not on purpose, it just kind of happened, and so I would go whipping around the corner on my son, and I'd be out of his view, and so I'd be like, oh no, it's taking Mom away, and, oh, bye, Riley, and then I was kind of goofing around doing stuff like that, and he just had the biggest grin on his face, and he was just laughing. Absolutely loved it, thought it was the best thing in the world. And so I don't even know how long we were in there doing that, but he certainly enjoyed that, and I was just goofing off the whole time in front of him. And then there was another, I don't even know how old this gentleman would have been. I'm guessing maybe in his teens. Definitely special needs, but not enough to have kind of like a caregiver with him all the time. And he was in the lazy river, and of course he was in the proximity of us when I was goofing around. And there were a couple of times I heard him laugh out loud, and as he's watching me. So apparently I was amusing this other kid as well, or this other little, not little, this older boy, this gentleman. So yeah, glad to be of service. But it was a lot of fun. We enjoyed it. The boys, of course, loved it. And then I was going to go home right afterwards because my hubby was coming home from work by the time we finally got around to leaving the pool. And so I was going to meet him at home, but my son just really missed my niece's boys, and so my mom felt bad that I was going to drag him home to go see Dad, so she's like, oh, we'll keep him and we'll bring him home later. Let him play with the boys for a little bit. So my mom thieved him and I went home by myself. Hubby came home because he had to work that Friday. He's starting to work some more Fridays here, getting ready for a shutdown, so they have them coming in and working some extra Fridays to kind of gear up for that. So that was our swimming thing, and then we had, of course, the celebration of life for... sorry, just yawning there. I do have my coffee. I am drinking my coffee. I am. We had the celebration of life on the Saturday that just passed here. It was an amazing turnout. There was lots of food. Lots and lots of food. Turnout was great. Lots of people showed up. Went through kind of the program with people getting up and talking about my uncle and their memories, and it was really, really neat because he impacted a lot of people's lives that I didn't even realize how much. So to hear their stories and what he did for them and how him being in their life impacted some pretty meaningful changes for some people. It was really neat. There was a poem that was read, some songs that were sang. one of our close family friends had gone over and taken a personal recording device with his son from his music studio and helped my uncle record, what was it, Field of Gold by Sting. And so he sang that, and that was what finally kind of made me, like, listening to all the stories was really cool and neat and all about that, but hearing my uncle sing one last time was what kind of hit me. I had to grab a tissue for that. But yeah, it was a really good celebration of life. It was great to see how many people showed up, and like I said, how my uncle impacted their lives, and how many people will kind of carry him on in their memory. And then, of course, my cousins told stories about the the Bronco, which was one of their vehicles they had at a time. That Bronco went through everything, including the boys learning how to drive and taking it off-roading. Things like that. So that was kind of a fun little memory. But yeah, that went really well. It was, like I said, a lot of people showed up, a lot. Way more than we would have even expected. So that was a pretty exhausting day. After the service, I went and had some dinner at my mom's and just kind of, once again, the boys all played out in the yard and hung out and had fun and kind of let them play. They all did really good trying to sit through it, given it was, you know, not exactly a super exciting event for kids to be at. I mean, we did have some coloring for them and little things like that to kind of help keep them occupied, but it's a lot for a kid. Especially active kids, active boys. But they did good. Everybody wore sports jerseys because my uncle was a huge sports fan. Hockey in particular. So there was lots of hockey jerseys. Mostly Oilers because of course we live in Edmonton, so lots of Oilers jerseys. The service was held out in Stony Plain. There were a couple of Maple Leafs, which was one of Toronto Maple Leafs, which is another one of his favorite teams. Some people had jerseys that they wore and stuff like that. So that was really cool. And then the following day, because family was still in town, like my sister hadn't gone back yet. They were planning to go back that day, and then my aunt was flying back out to Nova Scotia on the Monday. So we kind of took that opportunity to celebrate my birthday a day early and kind of have something a little bit more festive and cheery to celebrate. We were all exhausted though from the day before, for we weren't like did anything super crazy or exciting. We just kind of chose a local park and did a picnic. My parents brought some ground bison meat, and we did burgers on the open pit there. My stepdad cooked them up, and then my hubby brought a cookies and cream cake for everybody to have for dessert, and then we just had some like various chips and stuff to nibble on, and some salad and things like that to kind of add in with the burgers. And then because we were right next to a park, the kids were able to run around and play in the park while we kind of chit-chatted and did that. And so that was a nice little celebration with the family, even though we were, like I said, we were all kind of exhausted and not super energetic. but it was still nice to have everybody there. We did the cake, I opened some presents, which is the teapot, which I will have to show you guys that. The teapot that I had painted up that my two aunts and my mom went in on, that we painted at that ceramics pottery place. Which, let me just put this aside and I will pull it out and I will show you because it turned out awesome. So if you want, you can turn if you're not the type that normally watches these videos. Definitely now's the time to turn and look and watch. So I got this wonky little teapot. I'm just going to move you up here. I got this wonky little teapot. Ooh, I'm really close. Okay, there we go. So this is the, like I said, it's wonky. You can kind of see that it's curved. But I painted it up in an Alice in Wonderland theme. So I've got the keyhole with kind of like a little design around it, a checkered path, little mushrooms and grass, and then I kind of made the spout and handle look like a mushroom. And then on the back I did Curiouser and Curiouser, which is one of the quotes from Alice in Wonderland. And then this is the lid that I did. I made it look like a little mushroom. So, of course, with the lid on it, I thought it turned out super, super cute. I'll probably take a better picture of that and post it up on my Instagram, of course. But that's the teapot. So they saved that and held on to it and wrapped it up for me as a birthday gift, because that's what its original intention was to be a birthday gift. I of course painted it and chose it out and all of that, but normally I would not have paid the cost of something like that for myself, so that's why. And then my sister got me a gift certificate to a nail place, so I can go get my nails done. I don't do a lot with my nails a lot of times. I just kind of leave them footloose and fancy free. I think the last time I had done any sort of like gel or acrylic nails or anything fancy like that was for my wedding back in 2006. So it's been a long, long time since I've had nails. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. I know what I want. I'm thinking I'll probably go do that maybe this weekend sometime, depending, or early next week. When my son's in school, I'll go do that. Treat myself. Then my hubby got us tickets to go see Disturbed next week. Yeah, next week. So that was his gift to me, and we knew Disturbed was coming into town. They're one of the bands that we, since we first saw them live, we have not missed them since. Every time that they've come into the city, this was going to be the first year that I thought actually that we were going to miss them. So I was kind of disappointed because they're one of my favorite bands. Oh, sorry, I've got a really super itchy nose. Spring allergies right now. But this was the first year that I thought we were going to miss them, so I was super disappointed. But then super stoked when, obviously that was my gift. My mom's gonna watch our little guy for the evening. He'll be a pretty easy watch. She'll have maybe like a feed to do for him and about an hour or two to kind of keep him occupied and playing and stuff like that, and then it'll be putting him down for the night. So it'll be a pretty easy, and then she can kind of chill on the couch and watch TV, watch a show, fall asleep if she needs to before we get home. So that'll be nice. Looking forward to that concert. It's in our big Rogers place where our hockey team plays. So the only thing that happened was, I guess, because the Oilers made playoffs, they have a game scheduled the same night as the concert, so they had to change the night of the concert from the Wednesday to the Thursday, and they changed the time just slightly for that. But that's not a big deal. That's manageable. But I guess also they were due to play in Calgary, which is 3 hours south of us, approximately, the next day. So I guess what the bands did is they've just alternated the concerts. So they'll be playing the Wednesday night down in Calgary now and the Thursday night here in Edmonton. So a little bit of a juggling act, but it's still working out for both cities, which is good. Yeah, so that was kind of what I got for my birthday. Some really, really good things. Definitely feel spoiled. Had like I said, the cake, which was absolutely delicious. It was a cookies and cream cake. It was a really good one. I would definitely have the hubby get it again from where he got it from. It hit the spot. And then what else? I guess after that leads us right into this week, pretty much. And after all of the family and the celebration of life service and just kind of keeping the boys busy with each other and all of that, I was feeling pretty peopled out, pretty exhausted. I had, as I told my sister, I don't people that much. And so it was a lot, and I was feeling pretty exhausted and burnt out. And so I had pretty much spent Monday, which is my actual birthday, not doing anything. Just kind of kicking back and chilling and recharging my batteries, so to speak, from everything. So I slept. I had a nice long nap. I think I managed to get maybe a section of diamond painting done. I was just so tired, and like I said, I just kind of vegged out and didn't really do much of anything that day. Which was good that my hubby had kind of pre-planned and cut up some carrots and potatoes and stuff like that to throw into our slow cooker with a roast, so that we would have a kind of a nice little dinner, and where neither of us would really have to cook or do much, which was perfect, because with how just burnt out, exhausted, and tired I was, I don't think I would have managed to do much. It would have been a bowl of cereal or something simple, knowing me. So that was a good idea on his part to do that. But yeah, so that's pretty much what my birthday ended up being. It was just kind of a kicker back, recharge kind of day. And then, yeah, this week, I think it took me about 2 days to kind of recharge myself, and just yesterday and today I've started kind of feeling a little bit more back to myself than where I was at, which is good. I finished my Fairy Lights canvas from Diamond Art Club. which I had been working on that for the Diamond Painting Fanatics Spring Flings event, which was originally only going to be March, April? Yeah, March, April, but ended up getting extended into May. A lot of people wanted it longer, so I just finished that up and posted it on the Diamond Painting Fanatics group site as a finish. I've recorded the post review video. I just have to, of course, edit it up. And then I'll have to do my little pan over short that I like to do. So I'm working on all of that, of course. So definitely keep your eye out for that on the channel. Probably within about the next week here, I'm thinking. And then I also finished up my bird and apple tree for Diamond Grandma's My Garden 23 event. So I managed once again to film the completion video for that, but have to edit it and post it. That once again will probably be up in about the next week. And then, yeah, now I'm starting on this cow one for the Burn Life event for Diamond Grandma. I'm doing quite a bit of her events this year just because she kind of has some really fun themed ones that'll help me get through my low budget friendly canvases, which is kind of a goal that I would like to do. And because I got working on just Diamond Art Club for a while there and kind of neglected some of these other smaller budget-friendly ones. So I definitely wanted to give them some love again because they're just some really cute, adorable ones. Definitely in the stash, so that's kind of where I'm at with what pieces I'm working on, what pieces I finished, good stuff like that. I think that's pretty much about it for where things are at. Like I said, I'm just kind of starting to, after family in town and all of that, just starting to kind of come back around to feeling a bit more energized and more like myself. It was very draining in a lot of ways. But good to see family too that I don't always get to see all the time either. So I mean there's always some good mixed in. And yeah, of course, the only other thing I'm wondering is if you've stuck around this long, I've kind of been toying around with the idea of, do I keep my WIP and chats every 2 weeks and having them longer, closer to that kind of 50-60 minute mark, or would you like me to change it up and I can try maybe for a little bit doing weekly ones, but they'll probably be shorter? Because obviously I won't have as much stuff to kind of chat about. It'll just be 1 week at a time, and that may just be random what I've watched, what I've read kind of things, because I haven't gone out and done much. But if that's something you guys are interested in, please let me know in the comments down below. And I'll probably post it under the community tab as well as a kind of like a vote on what everybody would like. But definitely comments below, let me know, do you like the twice a week 1 hour long, or would you like kind of like half that time, maybe a bit less, maybe like 20 minutes, hard to say, every week. I'm going to leave that here. This is a little bit of a shorter one, even though lots happened. There's not really much more I can say. I'm going to be working on this one here for May. I've got the cardinal one that I still have a couple of sections to finish off, so I'm hoping to kind of bounce maybe between this one and that one and get them both finished for this month. I may start working on some kind of smaller ones or some off-canvas projects here coming up, just to kind of take a break from the big canvases. I've definitely got more and I definitely want more, but I'm ready for a little bit of a break and feeling like I'd like to see a little bit of some quicker progress happening. But yeah, so that's probably what you'll see, is kind of me working on those kind of things. And yeah, that's about it. I'm going to leave that here before I just kind of ramble on about whatever. So yeah, I will post that question down in my comments below. I'll post that little poll probably in my community tab, so if you can let me know your thoughts on that, that would be great, and I may adjust that or I may keep it the same. We'll see. And of course, we'll see everybody in the next video. Have a great one. Bye.